Hi everybody, it's Dan. And today's the day. Today's the big reveal. As of the recording of this video, we are at about 170 subscribers. That is awesome. Thank you guys so much for the support you're showing me and showing the channel. As we push forward, I've got so many great comments, so many encouraging comments. Thank you, each and every one of you. Before we get into the video didn't go quite as I expected it to. Number one thing I learned in this video is camera awareness. Yeah, when I went to edit a lot of the video, let's just say you guys would have gotten a really good look at my bald spot in a lot of the video. I think there's enough for me to pull together a little bit of a video. You know what, I'm going to keep growing, I'm going to keep learning, and hopefully my videos will keep getting better. And if you guys will give me some feedback down in the comments, do you like this style of video where I give commentating? Do you prefer the type where I'm using the different text to describe what's going on? Just let me know what you guys like. This content is for you, and I want to provide what you think is going to be useful and what you think is going to be engaging. So without further ado, I just want to give you guys a quick look before we go into the video of what the winner is going to get when we hit 250 subscribers. And there it is. What do you guys think? I'm really excited about this, really excited about the way it turned out. You know what though? Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Do you like the clear gloss I used? I know that is a huge area of debate. I personally like it, especially in something like this, where you have the fleshy tones and the sinews, and it gives it that moist, damp look. I think it really adds to it. I tried some new techniques, just to show you guys here a little bit. I decided, you know what? An undead dragon might still have some flesh on it. So I'll show you in the video kind of how I did that. Without further ado, let's go to the... So this first part of the video that you're seeing here is just basically me after I've 3D printed the dragon. Basically I'm doing an alcohol wash, and it's allowing me to clean it, take off the different supports. I'll put a link in the description to where I got this 3D model. If any of you have a 3D printer, you guys can go and pull those models. You can kind of see me cleaning it up, taking off the supports. It is an alcohol bath, so you do have to be careful. The resin is actually very toxic, so you'll see I'm wearing gloves as I'm cleaning everything. As you can see here now, one of the things you have to do when you do 3D resin printing is you actually have to cure it. The resin is cured through ultraviolet rays. So what I actually did, kind of a pro tip, print hack, is I actually got through Amazon, it's just a nail dryer which uses UV. Works great. As you can see, I use it a lot. So here you can see I'm curing those, and once they're cured, they're ready for paint. I didn't put it in the video, but I did. I put a gray primer on these pieces. So the next thing you're going to see is me assembling the pieces. Yeah, it was as hard as it looks. It's kind of a puzzle. The other thing is they're kind of awkward places. As you can probably see from the video, I'm just using super glue and two different kinds. One gel, one is just a standard super glue type, not necessarily super glue brand. Although it is super glue brand. One thing I learned, and I just got it in, and it actually helped me do some touch-up at the end of this of basically securing the pieces better. Is these two. These are great. It's MaxiCure. It's by Tay Tools. It's the first time I've used it, so I can't really give you much of an opinion on it yet, except for that I can tell you the first time I used it, it worked exactly as advertised. So basically you have your super glue, and then you have an accelerator. Once you put that super glue on, you put it in place, then you use this. It takes literally like 10 seconds and it held. Worked great. So here we're going to skip around a little bit and you'll see it get put together. You're going to see a lot of my bald spot, like I said, so sorry about that. Yeah, so you're gonna see bits and pieces of the actual painting process. I really apologize to everybody. Really disappointed in how this video came out. But you know what? It was a learning experience. I know to really watch where I'm positioning the camera next time. So you can see, the first thing I did was I kind of did a dry brush. It was already a gray, so I kind of took a lighter gray and did a dry brush on it. Honestly, this is one of the first times I watched some videos to get a decent technique, because it hasn't really worked for me before. What I found out was I was leaving too much paint on the brush. You literally need to get that dry brush, which this is the one I was using. You literally have to get it to where it feels like there's no paint left on it. You'll be surprised when you start dry brushing, there's more paint on it than you realize. But if you can put any paint on your hand or on a napkin that you're using to get paint off, if you see any paint, that's too much. next thing you're going to see here is I'm actually now mixed up some paint. I want to get that fleshy muscle look to it. So I kind of just made a pink fleshy color. So basically I'm painting here the sinews between the bones, almost as if the flesh has just been torn off of it. This is going to be pretty quick because most of this footage had my head in the middle of it. Learning experience. Just going through this, adding pink to everything that looks like muscle on the model. So here I decided to take a little red and black and make kind of a bloody, blood-looking, coagulated blood look, and just kind of putting it through over it. I was going to do dry brush with it, but then I decided I'm just going to use some splotching. A lot of this is just putting down base to it, because what I'm generally going to do is come back afterwards with, for example, the pink, but thinned out a lot, and come back and kind of cover it. It's almost like a wash, but a little bit thicker than a wash. Usually I'll do a black wash at the end after I've done my full painting. A lot of times I'll bring out little details in it. I didn't do it on this one, mainly more than anything because I like the way that the dry brushing looked. That kind of brought out a lot of the detail that a black wash sometimes will. So here, sorry about the darkness. This was actually a last minute idea I had. And the idea was, hey, you know what, if he's an undead dragon, doesn't mean all of his flesh is gone. So I kind of had a eureka moment when I decided to try this technique of basically taking tissue paper, putting it on it. Then I actually used some alcohol that I have in a spray bottle that I use for my miniatures when I'm cleaning them. So what I did is tore off pieces of the tissue paper and then sprayed it with the alcohol. I thought about using water at first, but then I thought that alcohol kind of has a quicker evaporation. So I thought that might help from a drying standpoint. So I actually did this pretty late at night because that's when I had the idea. So I did it pretty late at night, let it dry overnight. My thought being that once it dried, it would kind of form to the bones, the sinews, and everything on it. And it actually worked pretty well, as you can see. So once that was done, came back and I started to paint it. Really didn't. Green is just what popped into my head, and I guess maybe I think dragons, I think green dragons. But I also wanted to add some more contrast to it. So as you can see, this is me adding the green. Had to be very careful because the tissue paper was still very, very brittle. And as I started painting it, started getting it wet again, I went really slow and almost didn't paint it, but almost dropped. Tried to let drops of paint go in and absorb into it. Once I was done with that, it kind of got the coverage that I wanted. I let it dry a little bit, but then pretty soon after I thinned out even more and made it a darker color. And here you can see I'm going through in all the places that basically I could not kind of get the first coat to attach to. I went and just dropped it on it. And it really gave a really cool contrast. one of the things I didn't show is, and maybe I'll put a really clip here. You know what? Let's put a clip right here. Here, basically you can see me doing the stand for it. Now this is actually a lot of fun. This is where I did my first successful dry brushing. Yeah, it came out really cool. Basically, the stand is like an old stairway where the rocks have come up and jutted out. So I was really happy with the way this came out. So there's a little video of that. So, once I was done, final thing I did, as you can see here, is took it in and used my clear gloss on it. So I had two thoughts. I had a semi-gloss and then I had my clear gloss. My thought was I was going to use clear gloss on all the sinewy parts, the fleshy parts, and then use the semi-gloss on the back of the wings. But once I sprayed it, the skin tissue didn't really absorb the gloss. It's not glossy, it's still kind of flat looking. So I was happy with the way that looked. I'm really happy with this flesh technique I came up with. If any of you guys have done something similar, you know what, give me some ideas down in the comments. I can totally see where I'm going to use this in the future for other 3D models. So finally, here's a little bit better view of the Undead Dragon. Again, thank you guys. As I mentioned, the subscriber count right now is at 170 as of tonight. At 250, somebody's gonna win this. Thank you again so much for your support. If you don't mind, take a look at all my other videos. Leave some comments, share this channel, hit that notify bell, and if you could like this video, comment on this video, and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. I'm already thinking about what's going to be the next contest. Is it going to be at 500 subscribers? At 1,000 subscribers? I appreciate all the support you all are giving me, and I can't wait to create more content next year and in the years to come. So, Happy New Year, be safe, and I'll see you all next year with more content. Bye.